Hello everyone. So today we will cover biology MCQ set 2. So let's begin. Okay. So here is our first question. Which of the following statements is incorrect about lysosome? Okay. So first of all, whenever you go through multiple choice questions in your examination, you need to read the question twice, as here it is asking about the incorrect option among these. Okay. So here are your four options, which is about lysosomes. Okay. So first option is it is a membrane bound organelle found in plant as well as animal cells. Okay. So this is true about lysosomes. Okay. And second is it is also called the suicidal bag of the cell. This is also true about lysosomes because in case of disturbance of their cellular metabolism, they digest their own cell by releasing their own enzymes. Okay, so this is also true about lysosomes. And third is it helps in the synthesis of proteins. This is also true. So let's see what is the fourth option. It acts as a dispatch station of protein products received from the endoplasmic reticulum. So this option is the wrong option because this is not the work of lysosome. It is the work of Golgi apparatus. Okay, so the answer will be D. Here you can see in the diagram which I have kept for your understanding. This is the diagram of a cell structure, and here you can see all the components are inside the cell membrane, and here you can see their lysosomes are also present here. These green spherical dots are present in the cell, right? These are the lysosomes. So all these three A, B, C are the functions of lysosomes, whereas the fourth one is the function of Golgi apparatus. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next question. Okay, so the question here is which of the following protects the body against infections, diseases and foreign invaders. Okay, so here again there are four options. One is leukocytes, red blood cells, endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. So here you can see the diagram of a blood vessel. Here you can see white blood cells, plasma, platelets and red blood cells inside the blood vessel. Okay. So leukocytes are none other than white blood cells. Okay. So this is the answer for your question here. This is the function of leukocytes, protecting the body against infections and foreign invaders. Okay. And what is the function of RBCs? It is used to transport oxygen from lungs to the tissues. Okay, and ATP synthesis takes place in mitochondria because of this RBCs. And then third is ER and your endoplasmic reticulum. It is helpful in many functions like synthesis, folding, modification and transport of your proteins. And the Golgi apparatus, it came in the previous question also. Okay, so it is found in most cells and it is responsible for packaging of proteins into vesicles prior to secretion. Therefore, you can say that it plays a key role in the secretory pathway. This is done. Now, let's move on to the next question. This is hemoglobin in humans has highest affinity for which of the following gases? Okay, so the options are methane, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide and carbon dioxide. So your correct answer is carbon monoxide. Okay, so here you can see I have kept one reaction between hemoglobin and carbon monoxide, which gives you carboxyhemoglobin. This is a stable compound. Okay, so this carboxyhemoglobin and this cannot carry oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. This results into anosmia because you have reduction of required amount of oxygen in your cells. So this leads to suffocation. So this proves quite fatal for you, right? So carbon monoxide is actually 210 times has more affinity towards your hemoglobin rather than compared to oxygen. Okay, so you can imagine how harmful it can be. Okay. And I hope this is clear here. Let's move on to the next question. The question is which of the following is not a part of digestive system? Okay, so this is the diagram of digestive system. You can see in the right hand side along with the various organs involved in the digestive system from your mouth to anus. Okay, You can see all these organs. So which is not a part of digestive system? Small intestine, rectum, pharynx or spleen? So the answer is spleen. Here you can see in the next diagram, where is your spleen located? This is your spleen. Okay, so this is the location of the spleen in your body. Okay, here you can see the enlarged diagram of spleen. So this spleen plays multiple supporting roles in your body. Okay, it acts as a filter for blood as part of the immune system. Okay, though it is not a part of digestive system, it is connected to the blood vessels of both the stomach as well as the pancreas. So do remember this. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Okay, so the question here is, the terms hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia are related to which among the following? Body fat, blood sugar, metabolism of sugar, galactose and respiration. And the answer here is blood sugar. Okay, so here you can see in the diagram, when you have normal level of sugar in your body, it looks like this. This white spherical dots which you can see are the glucose levels in your blood. Okay, when it is less than the normal, you get a condition of hypoglycemia, and when it is more than the required normal level, then it is hyperglycemia. Okay, so this is important for you to remember. Okay, and here also you can see the symptoms which you get if you are facing these two conditions. Okay, so you can go through this, it might be quite helpful for you. Okay, so next question is about, in context with biology, which among the following is a zoophyte? Okay, so this is the term here, zoophyte. Is it a plant that resembles an animal that resembles a plant that grows on an animal, or an animal that grows on a plant? The answer is, zoophyte is actually an animal that resembles a plant. Okay, so here I have kept these diagrams for your easy understanding. If you see these diagrams, it will be easy for you to remember this term, right? So this is corals, this is sea lily, this is sponges, this is sea anemone, and these are all examples of zoophyte. These are animals that resemble a plant. These are in sea. You might have read it in sea and oceans. You find these creatures. Okay. Next is a vitamin question. Which among the following vitamins help in clotting of blood? Is it vitamin C, D, E or K? The answer here is vitamin K. Okay. So vitamin K is actually naturally produced by bacteria in the intestines. So it plays an essential role in your normal blood clotting. Okay. So it also helps in promoting your bone health and helping to produce proteins for blood, bones and kidneys. There was a question about vitamins in our previous set also, in which I showed you this chart, which is quite important. You can go through this chart once again. Okay, so here you must know the names of various vitamins, like vitamin A is called retinol, and the deficiency diseases caused by the deficiency of these vitamins and the sources from which these vitamins are available. Okay, you can go through this once again. Vitamin A is retinol, C is ascorbic acid, D is calciferol, K is phylloquinone. Okay, next question. Which among the following plant hormone plays most important role in establishing dormancy in seeds? Okay, this is asking about plant hormone which has important role in dormancy in seeds. So here you can see plant hormones can be of two types. They can be growth promoters or either they can be growth inhibitors. Your auxins, cytokinins and gibberellins are growth promoters hormone, and your ethylene and abscisic acid are growth inhibitors. Okay, so the answer here is abscisic acid. Okay, you can easily understand it with this here. Here you can see the various plant hormones, okay, and their uses. So our answer was abscisic acid in the previous question. It is used in seed dormancy, this plant hormone, okay, as well as closing of stomata. Auxins are useful for cell elongation and differentiation of shoots and roots. Cytokinins promote cell division, promotion of sprouting of lateral buds, delaying the aging in leaves and opening of stomata. Ethylene is for ripening of fruit, and gibberellins are for germination of seeds and sprouting of buds, elongation of stems, stimulation of flowering, development of fruit, breaking of dormancy in seeds and buds. So This you should remember, it is important. Now let's move on to the next question. This is the question which is about nitrogen fixation, and it is one of the most favorite questions for examinations in your competitive examinations. It is most repeated question generally, and you can see the question is, which of the following bacteria forms an endosymbiotic nitrogen fixing association with the roots of legumes that helps in nitrogen fixation? Okay, so this is the question here. The options are Clostridium, Rhizobium, Salmonella and Staphylococcus. Okay, Staphylococcus, something like this. Okay, and the answer is Rhizobium. Okay, so here you can see in the diagram here. Okay, Rhizobium is found in the roots of legumes, okay, like peas, grams, pulses, etc., where it fixes atmospheric nitrogen as ammonia, which is then converted into useful amino acid. Okay, you can see in the diagram here, and here you can see Clostridium and Salmonella. These two bacteria are usually the reason for food poisoning, and Staphylococcus is not so harmful, but it may lead to minor skin infections. Let's move on to the next question and the last question for today. Which of the following is the source of adult human stem cell? Okay, so the answer is bone marrow. Here you can see in the diagram where the bone marrow is located. Okay, actually bone marrow is the spongy tissue inside some of your bones, such as of your hip and thigh bones. Okay, so this is the source of your stem cells. Okay, actually adult stem cells are undifferentiated cells found throughout your body that divide to replenish dying cells and regenerate damaged tissues. Okay, so these are also called as your somatic stem cells, and they can be found in children as well as adults. So what is the use of this stem cells? They can develop into RBCs that carry oxygen through your body. They can develop into WBCs that fight infections. Moreover, they can develop into platelets that help the blood in blood clotting. Okay, so this is the importance of stem cells. So I am giving you basic idea behind every question, so that at surface level you have knowledge of everything. Okay, though you don't require to understand everything in very deep for these examinations from prelims point of view, but then you should know everything in at least some basics. You should have idea about every question. Okay, from next set I will try to cover your class 10th NCERT syllabus of biology. Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you.